Yeah, it is extraordinary. That rule will change in just over a week from now, but the US, one of the last countries to actually get rid of that vaccination requirement for entry. Even Australia got rid of that many, many months ago. I want to talk to you about the White House Correspondents' Annual Dinner, Kristin. This is always such a glamorous event, always such an insiders event, and it happened over the weekend, and Joe Biden tried to get a few laughs. Here is the president.
In a lot of ways, this dinner sums up my first 2 years in office. I'll talk for 10 minutes, take 0 questions, and cheerfully walk away.
Happy to be here. Oh, real quick, Mr. President, I think you left some of your classified documents up here. You can get to the... Yeah, no, don't give them to him. I'll put them in a safe place. He don't know where to keep them.
You say I'm ancient. I say I'm wise.
Well, Kristin, he had a go at Fox News and Tucker Carlson as well. He stuck to the script pretty well. It was probably the most animated we've seen Joe Biden for a while, and he's playing very much to a home crowd there.
Yes, well, he was able to get through a few sentences coherently, and we're all impressed. I mean, that's a really low bar, Chris.
It is indeed.
I mean, watching this event was just infuriating because this represents everything that normal working class Americans just despise and feel alienated by. All of these elites, and I'll add elites from both parties, there are a lot of Republicans there as well, laughing at the president as he makes these jokes. These are media people who are supposed to be holding our president accountable, laughing as Biden jokes about the fact that he never takes any hard questions and the media just lets him get away with it. And the thing that makes me the most angry about this is the fact that you have so-called conservatives in that room laughing right along with the Democrats. It really kind of gives weight to the claim that there is a uniparty in Washington, D.C. There's really no difference between the Democrats and the Republicans. They just kind of work together to further their own interests. And who's forgotten? The working class people of this country, the blue collar people who just look at that event and just feel totally alienated by it.
Yeah, it's exactly the sort of division between the elites and the mainstream that Donald Trump actually pointed to and rode into office, and it seems they've forgotten that division already. It's like the swamp is just still the swamp again, and no doubt Donald Trump will be able to make political capital out of that in the future. You mentioned the absence of hard questions for the president. I want to show how he gets foiled even by the easiest questions from children. Remember, of course, only a couple of weeks ago, the president was in Ireland, and apart from all the official business, we got to see the president and his family reconnecting with his Irish roots. So it was quite a memorable visit for him and for the Irish and for Americans watching back home. But have a listen to how the president was stumped by this question from a child.
The last country I've traveled, I'm thinking what's the last one I was in. I've been to 89, I met with 89 heads of state so far. So I'm trying to think, where was the last place I was? It's hard to keep track. I mean, yeah, you're right, Ireland. That's where it was. How'd you know that?
President, they're not laughing with you, they're laughing at you. He didn't know the answer. It took a kid to remind him he'd been in Ireland the previous week.
This kind of thing used to be embarrassing, Chris. Now it's just gotten downright dangerous. This is the person who's in charge of the most powerful country of in the world, and he can't even string together a sentence. And I'll also add, last week we talked about President Biden's announcement video that he's running for office again. And I keep watching that video, and something that strikes me about it is that it's really chopped up, right? There are no sustained parts of the video with the president actually speaking without lots of little edits. I mean, he can't even get through a thought to the extent that they can put together an announcement video where he makes an announcement speaking to the camera without editing it up into a bunch of little bits. This is a president with serious cognitive decline. This is what happens to people when they get older. It's just a natural fact of life. And this should be a person who is enjoying his retirement with his grandkids and his wife. And instead, he's being propped up, and God only knows who's actually running the country in the shadows, because he's he's certainly not making decisions. And we're all supposed to act like this is normal. And the media fawns over him, gives him passes, won't ask any hard questions about his mental health or his cognitive decline. This is just, it's gotten to the point where it's not even funny anymore. It's just really scary.
You are so right, Kristin. He just cannot string a minute or two of coherent English together. It just doesn't happen. He's not capable of it, and yet we're supposed to believe that not only is he going to run again, he'll win the nomination and win re-election. I just don't see it happening, but we'll have to keep tabs on it week by week. I look forward to catching up again next week, Kristin Tate.
Sounds great. Thank you very much, Chris.